Hi guys, today we'll be building a full stack login authentication flow. In this flow guys, what we are going to do is we'll create an account using this sign up button. We can pass a name, email and password and we can create an account, and then with this login button we can log in into that account. And for that very thing we are going to use Node.js, Next.js, JWT Authentication and Tailwind CSS for styling and so on guys. So let's go and log into one account. So account is mukeet@gmail.com and password is mukeet137, and I'll hit the login and it says login successful. And once a user is logged in, it's gonna display the username and it's gonna display their email ID, and we have a logout button. And once someone clicks on the logout, it's throw us back to the login page. And once the user is not logged in this case user is not logged in and want to go to the login home page, then they cannot go to the home page. If I try to go to the localhost 3000, it will throw us back to the login page because we are not authenticated. Only authenticated person can visit localhost 3000, and that is a protected route. So let's try to log in again with the same ID, mukeet@gmail.com. So login successful. Once the user is logged in, they cannot go to the sign up or login page. If I try to go to the login page by typing in the URL /login, then I'll be redirected back to this home page. Okay, and if I try to go to the sign up, again I'll be redirected back to the home page. So this is what we are going to build today guys. I hope you guys are excited. So let's get started. So let's open a folder and let's create a new folder. You can name it anything you want. I'm gonna name it login flow-yt, and inside here I'm gonna create another folder called server, and in login flow-yt I'm gonna open cmd. So I'll type cmd, it will open cmd inside this folder, and I'm gonna type npx create next app client. We are gonna create a next app and we'll name it client. We'll hit enter. It's gonna ask us some question. We're gonna use TypeScript yes, ESLint yes, Tailwind yes, source directory yes, app router yes, default. We're gonna customize our default import aliases, so no. That's all, and it's installing the Tailwind CSS now. Now I go inside the server, and inside the server what we are gonna do, open another cmd here, and I'm gonna type code dot to open this inside VS Code. So inside VS Code it's open. I'm gonna open the terminal, and I'm gonna divide this terminal into two parts. Wait, hold on guys, we have opened the VS Code in wrong folder actually. So I'm gonna close this folder and I'm gonna cd back, and I'm gonna open the VS Code inside this folder, login flow.yt folder. Okay, so login flow.yt, we have it here right now. So now I'm gonna open this server and I'm gonna create a new file called server.js. Now I'll close this cmd, we don't need it anymore. Now I'm gonna open terminal and divide this terminal into two parts. This one will handle our front-end Next.js server, and this one will handle our backend Node server. Front-end Next.js server, sorry, and backend Node.js server. Okay, so I'll do cd server, and in here I'll do cd client, and in server I'll do npm init-y to create a node project, initialize a node project. This will create package.json file, which is here as we can see. and in this test script we'll change it to dev script, and this server will be capitalized. And in the dev script what we are going to write is we are going to write node mon server.js. okay guys, so we are going to install this nodemon package. Nodemon package is what guys, it refreshes the server every time when a new changes is occurred in the code base, server code base. okay, so I'm going to install nodemon. So I will write npm i-g. I will be installing it globally so that we can use it in any project. nodemon. So nodemon has been installed guys. Now we need some dependencies in our server, so we will be writing npm I. We need express, we need .env, we need course, and we need mongoose, and we need JSON web token and JWT authentication as well. So but for JWT authentication, but I will install it later. So for now these 4 packages are okay. So packages has been installed. We can see them in the dependency listing course.env, express, and mongoose. Guys, course is used for cross-origin resource sharing. See, our node server is gonna run on localhost 5000 and our next server will gonna run on localhost 3000. So there's a difference in the port 3000 and 5000. To communicate between these two different ports, we need course. Okay, and .env is gonna use to manage our env file, and express is gonna use to create server, and mongoose is gonna use to handle the MongoDB. Okay. So now we gonna run our server using npm run dev. Okay, our server is running. We're gonna hide the terminal and we're gonna start. Okay, then we'll create const app equals express and evoke it. Then we're gonna have port, const port equals process dot env dot port, otherwise 5000. We have to create a env file guys inside the server. Dot env, and we'll write port equals 5000. So it's saying if we have anything like port variable in the env file, then use it, otherwise use 5000. We have the port variable, so it will use the port variable's value, which is also 5000 in this case. Then we will be having some middleware. App.use, we'll be using course for cross-origin resource sharing. We will be using app.use express.json to handle JSON request in the body, resource body, request and res body. Okay. Then we will do try catch, and in here we gonna try to connect with the MongoDB. So for that I'm gonna open the MongoDB. And I'm gonna sign in. with Google account. Once you are signed in, you have to do two things. First is add a user if there's no user, and then second is whitelist your IP. So the first thing is database access. Will go to database access for the users. So we have a user called Mukit. Okay, he has access of read and write to any database. Okay, so we'll just go to the edit option, and in edit we can just edit the password. If you don't remember the password, enter the new password here and then use it. But in my case, I actually know my password, so this is my password. So I'm just gonna copy this, and then I'll just go back to the network access. In network access, guys, we are gonna whitelist any IP. We have added 000, it means we can write from anywhere. So we can just delete this one, and then we can click on add IP address, and then I'll just click on allow access from anywhere, and then I'll just confirm. It's gonna be in pending, but it's gonna resolve soon. While it's doing its stuff, we can go back and do our stuff. So in the env file, we are gonna paste the password which we copied. Okay, and then go back to the MongoDB, and in here we are gonna go to the database, and in database we're gonna connect. We're gonna click on connect and drivers, and we're gonna copy this link. Once the link is copied, we're gonna write mongo URI equals paste the string, and here as you can see they need password here. So I'm gonna just delete this, and I'm gonna put the password in here, and here you can provide the user a database name. So I'm gonna write login flow, and I'm gonna go back to the MongoDB, and this time I'm gonna click browse collection. Since we have tested the app, so we'll be having some data already. So we have two datas. I'm just gonna delete the data so that we can start with an empty data set. Okay, now we will go inside the try block, and we will write mongoose dot connect process dot env dot mongodb URI, and then we will log MongoDB connected, and inside this error we will log error, and then we can do app.listen on port. Then we can pass a callback function, so we will just write listening at port, and then we will pass the port variable. If we'll open the terminal, then we can see the MongoDB connected and listening at port 5000. So there's no error, guys, in connecting the MongoDB. So we can keep continuing from here. From here, guys, we're gonna go to the server, and we're gonna create a new folder called routes. And in routes we're gonna create a file called auth routes.js. In auth route, guys, we will take const router require express. Okay, and then we will gonna do const router and evoke it. Then we're gonna do module dot export equals router. Okay, this thing we're gonna do, guys. And then we're gonna create a new folder here called models, and in here we will create a user model. Before creating a model, we need a package, guys, called validator. So I'm going to install that package. So I'll write npm I validator. This will be used to validate if the entered email is correct or not. Okay, guys, now we will do const user schema equals new mongoose dot schema, and it will take an object, and this object will take some property. First one will be name will be of type string, and required will be true, and we can pass a message, please enter a name. If no name would be entered, this message will display, please enter with error. Then email, please enter email. Then it will be unique, guys, meaning only one account can create with one email. If email is already exist, it's gonna throw some error that email is already exist. We're gonna pass his email, and then we're gonna write, please enter valid email. Now password, please enter password, and mean length 6, and it's gonna say okay, guys. Now we will do const user equals mongoose dot model, and we're gonna pass user and user schema, and then we'll do module dot export equals user. with this guys, our schema, our model is ready, and now we're gonna create a controller. So for that we'll create a controller folder, controllers, and we're gonna create a file called login.js. In here guys, we will do something like module dot export equals to async rec and res and now we're gonna go to the auth routes, and in auth route guys, what we are going to do is we're gonna do and define some routes. We'll take our router object, router.post, we'll create a post route slash sign up, and we are creating first for sign up, not for login, so we'll name it sign up. And we're gonna give a comma, we'll write sign up and import it from the controllers. Okay guys, this is it for the router, and then we will go back to the server, and in server we will import our routes. So we'll write const routes equals require dot slash routes slash auth routes. And in here, after connecting to the MongoDB, I'll write app.use and append it with slash API and then with routes. So what will happen guys, in here it was slash sign up, so it was like localhost slash sign up, but now in here we are appending it with API, so it would be like localhost 5000 slash API slash sign up instead of localhost 5000 slash sign up. It would be localhost 5000 slash API slash sign up. That would be the route which will be created here. Okay, let's go back to the signup.js. In signup guys, we need a library called bcrypt for encrypting our password or hashing our password. So we'll install this package called bcrypt, npm I bcrypt. We will import const bcrypt equals to require bcrypt. Const is email equals require validator. Const user equals require model slash user. Okay guys, these are the imports, and then we will do const salt rounds equals 10. This will be used for hashing the password. Salt round are something called, they add salt while hashing, so it will be of 10 round, they will add 10 times the salt. Okay, then we will be having a function called validate sign up data. So const validate sign up data equals to rec and res name, email and password equals to rec dot body. We are extracting name, email and password from request dot body, and we are checking if name dot trim dot length equals to 0. What trimming will do is trimming will delete trailing and leading spaces. Any trailing or leading spaces will be deleted. It means if someone will just type a space in the name, then it would be trimmed and its length would be 0. Once the length is 0, we are gonna say it's not a valid name. So we'll do res dot status of 400, and in JSON we gonna write message please enter a name. Then we're gonna return false, and I'm gonna copy this and now we're gonna check if email is valid or not. Not is email please enter a valid email. Okay, now we're gonna check for the password field, and we will write another case, else if and this is the case for if password length would be smaller than 6, it would say minimum password length is 6. Now we're gonna check if user already exists in the email in the database. So we'll do const existing user equals to await user model dot find one. We'll find by email dot execute, and since it's awaiting, we need to declare this function as async. Now we will say if we have a user, if existing user, then we're gonna throw some error. We're gonna do res dot status of 400, same thing. And in message we're gonna type email already registered. Okay guys, and we'll be returning false here, and then we'll return true ultimately. If no cases matches, then we'll return true. This would be our validation function. And now we can go here, and again we're gonna copy this one, we'll take a variable called isValid, validate sign up data. We will pass it rec and res, and we're gonna say if is valid. अगर वैलिड है तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे, पासवर्ड को हैशिंग करेंगे और यूज़र को अकाउंट क्रिएट बना के दे देंगे. वी कैन डू ट्राई कैच. bcrypt.hash, it's going to take password, current password, text password, and then it's going to take salt round, which we declared at the top, which is 10 actually. Then we're going to take const user equals to await user dot create name, email, password. Then we gonna write res.json. In method we gonna write account created successfully, and user we gonna give underscore id as user dot id, name as user dot name, and then email as user dot email. And then in the catch block we're gonna log the error, and res.json status 400 .json message error. And in the account creation it's going to take password as hash password. Okay guys, so our sign up should work now. So let's test it with Postman. So I'm gonna open the Postman. So route would be API/signup and request would be post, and then in the body we will pass name, email and password. Let me see if we have any data in our MongoDB. Let me refresh this. So we have no user data actually. So let's create this user, Abdul Mukit. Okay, I'm just gonna send, and it said account created successfully guys. So if we'll go back to the MongoDB and try refreshing, it's gonna load our document. Abdul Mukit is here guys, and the password is encrypted. As you can see, the password is looking like this, and in our case the password was my password. Okay, so our sign up functionality is working. Let's go back and create the login functionality. So for login we're gonna create a file called login.js. And for login we need a package called JSON web token. So the idea is that when a user logs in, we'll create a sign a token and then give it to the user. User will set that token into his cookie, and if user has a cookie and his cookie is valid, then we can say that user is authenticated. This is the idea guys. So I write npm I JSON web token. While it's installing, you can import bcrypt in the login.js and const JWT equals required JSON web token, and we can run our server. We will take email and password from request.body, and we will check if the email is existing in the database. So we will take db user equals await user dot find one, and we will find by email dot execute if db user. If a user exists, we'll write a else case first. In the else case, we will write something like this: email not registered, please sign up. Okay, if user is not found, then we will say this, and if user is found, then what we are going to do is we are going to check if the password user provided is correct or not. So we'll take const match equals await bcrypt dot compare password db user dot password. If it's match, then we can check here if match, and in the else case we can write username or password incorrect. Okay, if password is correct, then we can create a token. Const token equals to JWT dot sign signing with underscore ID, which would be coming from db user dot underscore ID. Name would come from db user dot name and email. This is done. Now we will write process dot env dot JWT underscore login underscore token, and we have to create this JWT password in our env file, JWT secret actually. JWT login token equals, you can write some secret, must some secret, okay, and then we can write 1 2 3 and some number, some symbols, and before it also @ So this is our JWT secret, guys. We don't have to share it with anyone. And after that we're gonna pass an object and we're gonna write expired in 1 day. So this token will expire in 1 day automatically. res.json message login successful, and we'll pass our token to the front end. This is it for login, guys. And now we are going to create one more route for our authentication. So for that, let's go and create auth.js. Authentication route will do what? It will check if user has a token. If it has a token, it will check if this token is valid or not, if it is expired, or if it is modified in some way. So we'll write if token. We'll take token from request.body first. And in the else case, we will do res.json auth to false and data to no token found in the request. Okay, if token is found, then we will try to validate it, verify it. Const code decode equals to JWT dot verify token process dot env dot not there. And we will write res.json auth as true and data as decode. Okay, and in the catch block, what we will do is we write res.json auth as false and data as error dot message. Okay, guys, so this will be our auth route. So now we will go back to the routes, and in routes I will do router dot post slash login router dot post slash out and import it. This is it, guys. Let's go back to the postman and test our login route. So email is abmugid@gmail.com and password is my password. This should log us in if I will try. So guys, it gives us a message login successful, and we have a token also. So it's login and sign up, both functionality is working, guys. Let's test our auth. So we'll copy this token object like here, and we'll go back to the auth. In Auth we will replace this token with our token, and we'll send it a request, and it says Auth true, and it's decoded our data of the Mukit and mukit@gmail.com. So it's working, guys. Every route is working. Now it's time to do our front end. So I'll go back here and I'll just click here, and then I'll just select close all, and I'll collapse server, and I'll open client, and in client I'll go to the pages, and in pages I'll collapse. In pages I'll just run first npm run dev. So everything is working, guys. Now we'll go back and collapse the main, and we'll write our own main. Hello for now. And in the global.css I'm gonna remove everything from here and leave this. In global.css we will be having two classes, so I'll be copy pasting those. So I'll write at layers components, and in here we have two classes. First one is icon wrapper, and the second is input style. Okay, guys. And then in tailwind config.js, not ts.config, tailwind config, I'll remove background, and we will be extending colors. So we will have these two colors, accent and accent dark. Okay, guys, this is done. Now in here we will create a new folder called components, and we'll create a sign up component. We will do RAFCE to quickly create a React Arrow based functional component, and then in route we'll create a new folder called, inside the app we'll create a new folder called sign up, and in here we'll create a page.tsx file, and in here we'll do RAFCE, and in here we can import our sign up component. So now if we'll go to /signup, it should show a sign up page. Sign up page is here, guys. So let's quickly create our sign up page. And I have some markup which will create this. Let me show you. We have to import the link first. We will create this. Okay, guys. Okay, after coming here, let's go and create height of screen, grid place item center. Okay, then text center, then we'll take a h1 which will say create account. Go into the classes, text accent, font bold, text for Excel, and let me see how it is looking. So looking good. Now go back. Again we will be having some markups for our icon. So icon we have to import from React icon, which we have not yet installed. So we'll be installing some libraries in our front end. So I'm closing the server right now. So I'll write npm I, and then I'll just go back to the React icon website. We need React icon, we need XCS. For now these two. We will be importing icons from here. Okay guys, so our icon is here as you can see. Now we will go back. After this div, we'll take a P which will say or use your email account for registration. And then we'll take a form. Action would be nothing, but we would be having some classes. Then inside this form we will take some input, but we need some state to manage our input. So for that we are going to create some state. So we will go up and create this state, and I'll try to import this state from React. Okay, now I'll go inside the form, and inside the form I'll take input, type text. Okay, placeholder name, class input underscore style. This is our custom class which is already declared in the global.css, and I'll type required, and I'll go up and then type value equals name, and then I type on change set name equals event dot target dot name, event dot target dot value. So our name field should be here right now. Since we are using use state, we have to declare our component as use client. So we have to go here and type use client at the top like this. So our name is here already and it's working fine. We'll create two more text field, for one for email and one for password. So I'll just copy this one 2 times and I'll just name it email, and do set email and email, and type would be email, and this one will be password. Set password, type would be password, and placeholder would be password. So let's check out. Okay, name and password are here. Now we need to create the button. So we'll just go here and just paste this. So we have a button tag with some Tailwind classes. That's all for the button. So sign up button is here, guys. So now let's integrate this sign up page. For integrating, what we are going to do is we are going to create a function called handle submit. So we'll go back to the top and create a function called const handle submit. It's gonna take event which would be of type react dot form event, and we will call it event default so that we don't reload the page. Payload equals name, email, password. Okay, this would be our payload. Now we can do access dot post. Now we need a base URL, and for that we are going to create a utils folder. Inside our source directory we are going to create a utils folder, and we are going to create a constant.js file, and we are going to do export const base URL equals localhost 5000/API. Okay, this would be our base URL. So we'll try to import the base URL from this file and see if it is working. It's not working, guys, so we have to manually import the base URL. So I'll try import from /utils/constant. okay, /signup, then we'll pass our payload, and then we will say dot then now we need another library called React Toastify. So for that we are going to install React Toastify. So we'll close our server, and I'll do npm I React Toastify. Now guys, we'll go into the layout folder, app folder. Inside app folder we'll go to the layout, and in layout we are going to import two things. One is toast container, and second is a CSS file for React Toastify. Okay, the toast container would go here inside the body. Before the children, I'll just write toast container like that, so that we can access it on every page. Now we'll just go here and we'll say toast, which would import from toastify dot success account created successfully, and then we'll take a VR and then we'll write please log in. Now guys, account is created, so we don't need to sit on the sign up page. We'll go to the login page, but the login page does not exist right now, so no worries. We can just do something like const router equals to use router, and we have to import it from next navigation. Okay, and we will do router.push to /login, but we will comment this line for now because we don't have the login route yet. So we'll just do a catch block here which would catch error, which will do toast dot error, and we'll do error dot response dot data dot message. And we'll take this handle submit function and copy this and go back to our form, and on form we'll write on submit and we'll pass handle submit. Now our login sign up functionality should work. So let's go here and let's reload this page. Okay, let's create a user called Usman, and Usman at gmail.com and Usman123. Let's hit enter, and account created successfully. Please log in. So let's see if account got created on MongoDB or not. So we have one, and we'll refreshing. So we have this Usman data, guys. So our sign up is integrated. So let's integrate our login as well. I'll create a new component called login.tsx, and I'll do RAFC, and I'll inside the app folder I'll do login, and I'll do page.tsx, and I'll do RAFC, and I'll take login and render it. And now guys, we can go back to the sign up, and in sign up we can go to this handle submit, and we can uncomment it because we have now the login route. Okay, now we are going to copy the entire code of this sign up inside this login, and we'll change this to login. In login we will be having email and password, not the name, so remove the name. We will pass email and password only. /login, This would be sign up slash sign up, and this would be hi friends. Okay, log into your account. This input will be deleted. And this would be login. And if we go back here and then try to go to the visit the login page, let's see what happens. So login page is here, guys, as we can see. Sign up page and then login page. But login page, there's one little mistake here. For that we are going to copy this entire thing here, and we are going to do one FR first and then 30%, and then we are going to collapse this and then paste this here, so that we have side like this: sign up and then login, sign up. Okay, so on the login page, guys, what we want to do is we have to, once the user click the login button, it will call this handle submit function, and we have a payload of email and password, and it will go to the /login route. And if it is success, then what we are going to do is we are going to send the user to home page, and we are going to do is give a message login successful. Okay, and we also need to set the token in the user browser, so that next time the page reloaded, we can check if there's a token. If there's a token, we can verify the token, and if token is correct, then we can keep the user login. So for that we are going to create a file in our utils called auth.js, and in here, guys, we need some libraries for the front end. We need JS cookie library, so we are going to install JS cookie. So I'll write npm I JS cookie, and it will look like this, guys. I'll explain you what we are doing. We have a set cookie function which will take key and value and set a cookie which will expire in 1 day. We have remove cookie function which will take key and remove the cookie. We have get cookie function which will take key and return the cookie. We have set authentication which will take token and set a cookie called token with that provided token. We have a logout function which will remove the token, and we have a is login function which will take token first and check if we have token. If we have token, then it will go to the /auth route which we have created in our Express server, and if that route returns the data as true, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. Okay, guys, so back to the login. We can just write set authentication. We have to import it from our set authentication. Okay, address.data dot token, and we have to import authentication from util /auth. Now let's try to log in and see if it's setting the token or not. So let's go to the application tab. In the application tab, we'll go to the cookies, and under the cookie localhost 3000. So let's try login with Usman ID. Usman at gmail.com. Usman123. As soon as we do login successful, we don't see any token actually. Okay, let me see what the issue is. We will log res.data. So we have the token here, and we have the token in here also, guys. So it's working. Our token is actually setting up. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to check, we need to design our front end home page, and also we need to check if user is logged in or not. If it is logged in, we don't have to redirect it. User cannot visit the login or sign up route. If user is not signed in, then he cannot visit the home page. Okay, const user set user equals use state imported from React. Name as well as email. Const router is equals to use router from next navigation. Okay, then we will have a use effect imported from React. We will pass an empty dependency so that it will run only once when the page is loaded. And then we have an authenticate function inside this set user. We will import is login from our utils Auth. Okay, so authenticate is doing what? It's calling a function called is login, and then if it's login.auth is true, then we are setting the data of the user, otherwise we are sending them to /logout page, and then we'll call authenticate. And then we'll have another function called handle logout. and it will call logout from utils.auth, and toast, it will import, we need to import toast from Toastify. So that's all for this page. Same will go for the sign up as well as login. I'll go to the sign up page and I'll just copy paste the entire use effect. So this authenticate function is again going to call is login, and is login is true, then we can so if this is login is true, then we can just go to the home page. Otherwise we can we will do nothing. If user is logged in, we'll just redirect them to the home page. That's all there is to it. And then I'll just do the same thing to the login page also. I'll import use effect and I'll import is login. Okay guys, so let's go back, and since we are using use effect, we have to make the component use client. So it's telling us the name and welcoming us. So logout successful. So we are on the login page and we try to go to the home page. They are not logged in and we try to go to the home page. Then it's going to redirect us back to the login page because we are not logged in. And once we log in, usman@gmail.com, usman123, and this pop-up is because the password is weak. That's why Google is saying. Okay, so we are now at the home page, and now we try to go to the /login or /sign up. Then we cannot go. We try to visit the /login page, but we got redirected back to the home page. That's because we were logged in already. So that's all for this video guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you do, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll meet you in the next one.